Hey guys, how are we today? It's so good to see you all. Hey guys, Trista, it's good to see you. And Aaron's in the house. And Vanessa's in the house. Hey guys, what's that fellow's name that he said? And Pointer Lover's in the house. Good to see you too. I was thinking about him this morning in the house. We're all in the house today. But somebody might be outside listening. Hey, Brad, how are you? Somebody might be outside listening or in their car listening, and then they wouldn't be in the house. So I crack myself up sometimes, guys. At least I think I'm funny. Oh, but guys, I don't have any updates for today. Hey Nicole, how are you? It's good to see you. I don't know. That's a very good question. I haven't turned it off or anything. I'll see what I can do if it's let me try it out. But this whole live today is an update really. And they I covered this case the first time, I think it was about 10 days after her murder. Hey, Shauna, how are you? Well, it's just being mean to you today, man. I don't know. It it was discriminating against Eddie last time and it wouldn't let me drop his link, and today it's you. Hey Heather Licious, how are you? It's good to see you. Um yeah, basically, Brett. Oh, um, but yeah, so I think the first time that I spoke on her, it was about 10 days after her murder. She was murdered May 18th of 2024. And then I spoke about her soon after that. And then she was a soldier in Fort Campbell. And she lived across the line in Clarksville. And I'll be honest with you. Oh, and I did a post on my community tab for her on Veterans Day and Memorial Day also, because I always thought about her on those days. And so I was really wanting justice for her, and it made me mad, you guys, because to be honest with you, because she lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, and we also know a father of a missing child right now that's all over these streets in our little um, sector. He also lives in Clarksville, and I'm saying there is absolutely no link whatsoever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that him or those people that speak on him, they could have also shared about Katia, you know? Um, but her name's not really big in the algorithm and stuff like that. We know how that goes, guys. Yeah, we have a cat and a dog now, and I'm hoping, see, this is for fall, and I'm getting spring vibes now. And true, Brad, I don't either. Hey, Debbie, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, Heather Licious, but I'm getting spring. I want spring to come now. Well, in Kentucky, we don't get spring. We go straight from cold AF to hot AF. So, but spring or summer, so we got to change our background and stuff. So we might get some different animals again, I think. Okay, Aaron, I hope you feel better. But first today, guys, hey hippie chick, how are you? Hippie chick's in the house. Are you in the house, hippie chick, or are you outside? We gotta know. Oh, okay, but first, guys, Debbie shared something with me, and it is a hit and run that happened this past Monday in Sarasota, and it was a family, you guys. It was a mama, and she had her 2-year-old in a stroller, in front of her, and she had her 6-month-old on her chest, and she was crossing. They had went to Speedway, and they were coming back crossing the street, and it was about 8:30 p.m. Oh, Hippie Chick's on her porch, so not in the house, but near it. Oh, okay. um, but yeah, they were crossing the street and they were hit, you guys, and the child in the stroller was crushed. And trigger warning, this whole live today. Hey, Neat Noodle, good to see you. This whole live today is going to be a trigger warning. So, but what I'm going to talk about just for this few seconds here is about the hit and run in Sarasota, and the baby in the stroller didn't make it, you guys, and the baby that she had on her chest didn't make it. Hey, Teacup Kraken, good to see you. And so, and the mama was fighting for her life last that I seen it, and this was on, the car was going southbound, and it continued 1 block or so and made a U-turn and continued eastbound on 7th Street. So they're walking, they're wanting any surveillance footage of this car. Let me pull up the Facebook post so that I can show you guys, just to spread a little bit more awareness. And the car was a white Lexus, a 2013 to 2018, and it was a Lexus ES300. And they said that it would likely have windshield and front end damage. It was such a bad crash, you guys. Let me come back and get you guys. Yeah, and it says on February 10th, 2025 at approximately 8:30 p.m., the Sarasota Police Department responded to reports of a traffic crash involving a vehicle and pedestrians resulting in serious injuries. Hey, 71, how are you? In the area of, I think SR means State Route 683, North Washington 301 and 7th Street, and it says that described as a white 2013 to 2018 Lexus ES300 had left the scene. So it was a 29-year-old woman, a 2-year-old, and a 5-month-old were transported to area hospitals under trauma alerts. The 2 children have died as a result of their injuries, and the woman remains in critical condition. I listened to some 911 calls, you guys, and it was totally devastating. There was a few people that called in, and they were so upset, you guys. You could hear it in their voices. I'm not even going to share that with you guys. It's so bad, like seriously. People were so upset, and rightfully so. So this is the pictures of the car that they have. And then that's another picture. And they want you guys to call the Sarasota Police.
Hey, this is Chief Rex Roche with the Sarasota Police Department, reaching out to ask some help from people within our community. Yesterday, about 8:30 in the evening, we had a fatality crash within our city. A family was walking across 301, and a white Lexus ES350 year 2013 to 2018 was southbound on 301 and struck the family as they're crossing over. Unfortunately, a 6-month-old baby and a 2-year-old passed away. The mom is currently fighting for her life. After the vehicle struck the family, continued southbound for about 1 block or so, made a U-turn, and then proceeded eastbound on 7th Street. We're currently looking for this white Lexus. We are searching the area, Ring cameras, any type of security systems. If anybody has any information in regards to the crash, please reach out to Crime Stoppers or call us at this number, 941-263-6094, 263-6094. We're looking for everybody in the community to help us out with this. If you see something, please say something. We want to bring closure to this, and we want to make sure that that person's put behind bars where they.
So I just wanted to bring that quickly to you guys again. That number is 941-263-6094. If you have any information at all, or please check your camera footage if you live in the area. You might have caught the license plate or something, you know. Okay, you guys. Do you now? Let's talk about Katia. I'm going to show you guys the short that I made shortly after. I'll have to check the date. Let me see here. I'll show that to you guys first. Her case means so much to me, you guys, and I'm sure it was really upsetting to me because it's like she was in combat. I can't remember exactly where she was stationed at, but I know she made at least one tour, if not two. Hey, Tony, good to see you. Good afternoon. Tony's in the house. How are you? But she might not be in the house because Shauna's at physical therapy, so she's not in the house. All right, guys, I'll stop. Promise. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me come back and get you guys. Yeah, because you guys, it was so upsetting to me because she did those tours and came back home safe, and she was in her own home where she should have been safe. You know, that's what was so upsetting to me, you guys. Okay, so here's the short that I made.
Private First Class Katia Duenas Aguilar began her career in 2018. After completing boot camp, she was transferred to Fort Campbell in Kentucky, where she would remain. She was a genuine person, a loyal friend, and most importantly, Katia was a wonderful mother to her 4-year-old son, Kendrick. All of this would abruptly end when an ambulance was called to her apartment she shared with one other person on Saturday, May 18, 2024. A friend found Katia deceased behind a locked door, and law enforcement would classify it as homicide. The next day, air assault was notified. If you know anything, please contact Detective Hofinga at 913-648-0656, extension 5684, or Crime Stoppers at 931-645-TIPS. Private.
Okay, so I made this one on May 25th, and she was murdered, unfortunately, on May 18th. I think that's the first time that I spoke about her on my channel, and then I did a live stream shortly after that. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about Katia, too, because you guys know I like to do that. Music City Mom, how are you? Is it? Yeah, yeah. I know that she actually lived in Clarksville, but she was stationed at Fort Campbell. I'm not gonna go into I already did that live stream about her, so I'm not gonna go into a whole lot about her history, but I do want to tell you guys a little bit. She's from Mesquite, Texas, and she graduated high school from there in 2018. And in 2019, and on my short too, I said boot camp. And a nice fella that was in the armed services, he explained to me that I should have said basic training. So I'm glad he taught me that, and that is so that wasn't correct. I should have said armed forces. And she was let me get my notes up. So she was from Mesquite, Texas, and she went to basic training at Fort Eisenhower in Georgia, and she attended advanced individual training. And that fella also told me that Music City Mom is not in the house, she's in the car. Oh, all right, guys, I'm gonna stop, promise. Okay. So he also told me that after you go to basic training, you go to AIT, which is advanced individual training. And her job was an information technology specialist. And she was sent to her duty station after that. And she was stationed at Fort Campbell in the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade. And she received 2 Army Achievement Medals, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the Army Service Medal. So she was great at her job. And the sad part, you guys, so this is her. She was also in what is that called in high school, you guys? ROTC. She was in that through high school. And I seen on the internet, on Facebook, this one lady was talking about how that she was so glad that Katia talked her into not going into Spanish 3, but staying in ROTC because she went on to the armed forces too. So she was thanking her for that. And I remember on the first live that I did, we had an interview with her choir teacher, and he was talking about how that was her only that was her goal, was to go into the service after she graduated, and that's exactly what she did. And but she even going through all that, you guys, all she achieved, she had a 4-year-old son named Kendrick too. I want to show you guys these pictures. I picked some of my most favorite pictures of her off her Facebook. I really liked that one. And then that's her and her mama Carmen. And you guys, I'm going to show you a few videos of her and her sister Cecilia, and it will break your heart. They're a really close family, you could tell. And that was one of her best friends from the Army too. And this picture, you guys know I always cover up the faces of this is her family. Her sister does speak now, but I wasn't for sure if she was underage in this photo or not. And that's her baby, you guys. I wish you guys could see him because he's absolutely adorable, Kendrick. And I picked out a few of my favorite pictures she had of him too. But her Facebook was full of pictures of him. I wanted to read to you guys what she put on his 3rd birthday too. She wrote a post for him, and I wanted to read that to you guys. It shows what a great mother she was. And at the end, I thought it was really funny because she said, these are a few memories since the day he was born, and there was literally 40 pictures she added. Porno lover, her mama Carmen has him now, and I do have a video of her talking about him, and it's really sad because he still asks where his mama is too. She says, Kendrick, and this was for his 3rd birthday on April 11th, 2023. Although you are still learning to understand everything thrown at you, I just want to thank God for you. God knew how much I needed you. I am thankful that you came to my life in the right time. I am thankful that as you grow and learn, I grow and learn as well. There is nothing I won't do to make sure you are cared for. Throughout these past 3 years, and the 9 months you grew in me, you have helped me become the woman and mother I am today. Without you understanding, you've seen me laugh, smile, and cry. Every time I see you, it strives me to become better and do better solely for you. Happy birthday, baby. And her Facebook was full of him too, and that makes me really sad. Yeah. It is sad, you guys. I also wanted to show you this picture. When you put somebody's name in Facebook, it also pulls up some of the posts that they made. And this was she made March 22nd of 2023. And it says, healing prayers for friends and loved ones. It says, hi group. I'm thankful to be in this group and thankful that there are people that will come together and pray for any and everybody. I am asking for some strong, faithful prayers. My boyfriend's mom is currently going through cancer. I'm not sure what stage it is, but the doctors have told her she has months left. But in Jesus' name, I know she will be healed. But I don't want to feel like I'm the only one with faith that she will be healed while everyone around me is losing faith. So, community, help me. God bless. And I thought that showed what a great person she was, too, you guys. So now we have to get to the bad part like we always do. And I hate getting to this part, but that's what brings us here, right? So I can't remember if the first thing I saw was on Clarksville Police Department on their Facebook or how I learned of Katia's case. But it was Music City Mom says, my granddaughter wants to be a nurse and a pilot in the Air Force. Well, she can be anything that she wants to be. Actually, they did a press conference after Katia's death, and it was on LULAC's Facebook, League for United Latin American Citizens, I believe is what the abbreviation stands for. And her mama speaks mostly Spanish, and so to understand what she said, they didn't have it on YouTube, so I had to screen record the whole press conference and then upload it to YouTube private, and then YouTube will actually translate for you. You can put the closed captions on translate, so that's what I did. And Katia's mama said that she wanted to be a psychologist after her time. And you guys, that's the sad part too. I forgot to tell you guys. So she had spent 6 years and she was days away from leaving, days away. And she was going to go back to Texas, and she was telling her mama to pick any city and they would all get a house and live together. And her sister said that that about a month before that, she stopped talking to people. She stopped talking to them as much. And also in that press conference, they said that she had stopped talking to them, and she had said that she had spoken to a counselor and they had talked her into staying. So they think that she was about to re-enlist. And I really thought that had something to do with it. But Debbie, I do have a video of her mama after they made the arrest and what she says. So I hope that this arrest helps her some. Okay, I'll show you guys what the Clarksville PD said. So they wrote this, and then they made an update on the 21st. It says, on May 18th, 2024, at approximately 8:33 p.m., Clarksville Police Department responded to an ambulance call in the 900 block of Tinytown Road. Inside the residence was a deceased female, and her death has been ruled a homicide. The victim has been identified as 23-year-old Katia Duenas Aguilar of Mesquite, Texas. She was a soldier stationed here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and the next of kin has been notified. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. No other information is available for release at this time. And this was the first thing they said. Detectives with CPD's Special Operations Homicide Unit responded to the scene. It's been ruled a homicide and being actively investigated. So basically, that's about it. And this has been they have been the most tight-lipped that I've ever seen a case. Like, they didn't even give her name for a few days, more days than you would think, really. And they I think that they were arrested in Montgomery County. I'm not sure if that's Clarksville. They were arrested in a different county, and then they were transported back. Let me show you guys this video. I wanted to show a few videos of before they made the arrest, and then I'll tell you guys about the arrest, and you won't believe who they arrested for it. Hey, April T., how are you? Welcome. Welcome. moving slow. Let me see here. I'll share this link in the chat for you guys. So if you want to watch it later too. Okay.
A very genuine and like kind person.
Katia Aguilar's sister says the 23-year-old decorated Army soldier was a determined daughter and a dedicated mom.
Ella hasta en sus fotos que se tomaba.
She was always happy. That's why I don't understand what happened. Police call the Mesquite mom's sudden death a homicide. Katia was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, in the Army's 101st Airborne Division. Saturday, police found her dead in a Tennessee apartment complex near the base. Katia's 4-year-old son is safe elsewhere.
Yo solo le pido a Dios que me dé fuerza.
I just ask God to give me strength. I feel so weak, and the worst is coming. I haven't seen my daughter, and to think I'll see her for.
Thank God that Kendrick was safe elsewhere. Oh my gosh, you guys! One of my friends, True Crime Karen's, she did a FOIA in Tennessee because to get any information in Tennessee, you have to be a resident, and I live in Kentucky, and so when they sent us back the autopsy, and I'm going to read some of it to you guys because I want you to understand how awful this is. But once you do, I'm so glad. And it said that her roommate found her. She was behind a locked door. And I seen the roommate's name on Facebook, but I'm not going to say it, of course, but it was a female.
Here for one last time. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to live. Gunman Aguilar says after nearly 6 years of military service, her daughter planned to come home to Mesquite. But then for a month, she stopped calling home.
Lo único que sé y ahora que me enfrento.
The thing I can't stop thinking is what was happening. She says she has no idea who would hurt her daughter or why. Local police and the Army are investigating what happened.
Pero solo me decía por partes.
She sometimes told me about circumstances within the base. She wouldn't tell me much. They say the death of Katia is a reminder of Vanessa Guillen, a Hispanic Army soldier murdered in the Fort Hood Army base in Texas by another soldier.
I feel like we're heartbroken because we never expected it to be us.
What this family has always feared came true.
I wish, she would have been more open to me. Maybe I would have figured something out because to me, she was always strong.
Now they try to keep each other strong to give Katia a voice and for justice. In Mesquite, I'm Adriana Day.
I also wanted to share with you guys what one of her friends, it was her BFF friend in the Army, said. But I also wanted to, when they did this press conference, 2 days before that, Lulak had announced, I think that they did 25,000, and her mama added 30,000 of her own money, you guys, and the reward was up to 55,000. And I don't think that anybody will end up getting that reward. I think that it just came from police work. Let me share with you guys her friend, and then I'll tell you guys about the arrest that they made. Let me see here. You guys, my computer is moving major slow today. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, yep, this is her friend.
Police in Tennessee are investigating the murder of a soldier from Mesquite who was stationed at an Army base on the Tennessee-Kentucky border.
Police have released very few details about the murder of Private First Class Katia Duenas Aguilar, including how she was killed. Aguilar was a graduate from North Mesquite High School. She leaves behind a 4-year-old son. Fox 4's Amelia Jones spoke with one of Aguilar's close friends and has more tonight. Amelia?
Steve, that close friend told me that Katia Duenas Aguilar was a great soldier, friend, and mother. She's devastated that someone took her life when she still had so much life left to live.
I'm sorry if I get emotional.
Jay Mitchell can't fight back the tears.
It just doesn't feel real. Like, I just doesn't feel real to me to this day.
Her best friend and fellow soldier is gone.
It just hurt. It just breaks my heart. It's so unfair. So unfair.
Private First Class Katia Duenas Aguilar was found dead in a home Saturday night in Clarksville, Tennessee, near the Fort Campbell Army base. Clarksville police say Saturday around 8:30 p.m.
I kind of think sometimes, you guys, that I know this is kind of morbid, but that I try to live my life by what I want people to say about me at my funeral, And, well, I live too because, to serve God, and I want to get to heaven, first and foremost, but also, at, how you treat people. And when you pass away, you can kind of tell how you treated people through, what people have to say about you. And I heard nothing but good about Katia, how even, from high school friends to friends that she made in the Army, and then even her neighbors in Clarksville.
They got a call for an ambulance, and when they got to the home, they found Aguilar inside. Police ruled her death a homicide, but haven't said how she was killed.
It doesn't make sense. That's why I'm so distraught and I'm so confused, because it just doesn't make sense. And I really truthfully thought she was in a safe environment.
After graduating from North Mesquite High School, Aguilar joined the Army. That's where she met Mitchell. After basic training in 2019, the two were stationed together at Fort Campbell on the Tennessee and Kentucky border. As the only two females in their IT section, they became attached at the hip until Mitchell received a new post in 2022 that took her to Hawaii.
I wish I would have had the time to talk to her like one last time, to tell her how much she meant to me, to thank her for getting me through my first 4 years of the Army.
The Mesquite native won several awards during her short time with the Army, including
bless
a
her.
Medal for Good Conduct and the National Defense Service Medal. She also leaves behind a 4-year-old son.
She was just...
Oh, look at that baby, guys. They showed him here. Bless his little heart. I'm glad he has his mama, and his dad had nothing to do with it. I do want to say that. His dad, absolutely clear.
An amazing mother. She loved him so much.
Clarksville police haven't said if they have any suspects or if any other soldiers were questioned. Mitchell doesn't know who would want to hurt her best friend, a person who she says brightened everyone's day.
She was amazing. She was such a wonderful person. She's the type of person that you need more of in this world.
Clarksville police didn't provide an update on the investigation.
So it was the Clarksville police, you guys, and also the Army Criminal Investigations Division, I think is what they call it, CID. They were investigating it this whole time. Now I want to, Heather Lucia said, people serve their country and make it out just to be unalived this way. I know. That's why I think that I hold this case so close to my heart, because that's exactly how I felt too. Like, she deserved better. She deserved so much better. Now I want to share with you guys I want to share with you parts of her autopsy. And then when I'll share with you about the arrest after that. I do want to tell you guys that it was a woman. It was a woman who done all this. And you won't believe, well, just listen, guys, okay? So it says the decedent was reportedly a 23-year-old female who was found with, and trigger warning, really bad trigger warning, you guys, was found with multiple sharp force injuries on the night of 5/18/2024. Clarksville Police Department and Montgomery County EMS responded to the scene, but death was ultimately pronounced at 20:42 hours by paramedic, and it gives her name, and it says an autopsy was ordered on behalf of the Montgomery County Medical Examiner, Dr. Stephen Kent, and the decedent was transported to the Center for Forensic Medicine and to determine the manner of cause and death. Okay, and it says altogether, you guys, there was about 68 stab wounds, I think, and it's so I'm gonna show you guys this. At least 39 stab wounds and 3 incised wounds over the right side of the neck. Location, lateral right side of the neck with extension on the right temporal occipital scalp and posterior right shoulder. And it says the maximum depth is 4 inches, you guys. On your neck and your head, that is way, way deep. And it says injuries of the skin and soft tissues on the neck, right carotid artery, right internal jugular vein. Those are your main 2 veins up there. Her larynx, her thyroid gland, her trachea, esophagus, and lower cervical spine. You know what that sounds to me, you guys? I know, guys, it really is really, really bad, but I feel like I've had this for a really long time, and I haven't shared it. But I feel like we have to know a little bit about how horrific it really was, so we can think about these monsters who could do such a thing. And it was a woman, to beat it all, you guys, allegedly a woman, right? Her friend. Yeah, I'll tell you guys that it's her friend. And it was her friend and this man who called and told Carmen. Yeah, facts matter. Absolutely, Heatherlicious. And it was those 2 that called and told her mama that she had passed away. I knew that Katia was married, right? And I couldn't find anything about her husband. And I'll tell you guys after this, but yeah, her quote unquote friend, Heatherlicious. And she's the one that's charged with the murder. And Katia's husband is charged with, what do you call it? Tampering with evidence, I think is how they labeled it. Yeah, but I'll tell you guys more about them after this, but I think we need to look a little bit more at this. So all around the front of her neck too, all of those, and trajectories leftward, slightly forward, backward, and they also said her cervical spine. So that means to me that she was almost decapitated in my mind. I'm definitely no doctor, but that's what it seems like to me. And it says 2 superficial incised wounds over the right ear. So even her ear, 6 superficial incised wounds of the midline upper back. And then it goes on to tell on the left side of the neck, almost a half an inch, and maximum depth. There's 7 more wounds of the lateral left side of the neck, and the maximum depth of those is approximately 1 inch. And let's see here, 1.5 inches on the inferior left side of the neck, so the inside. 1.5 inches. That's a lot for your neck. There's hardly, you know what I'm saying? And so even on her chest too, approximately 1.5 inches there, and then 5 superficial stab wounds of the left shoulder, approximately 3/4 of an inch depth, and a superficial stab wound of the left shoulder, almost 1/2 inch. So it says the cause of death was sharp force injuries of the neck, homicide, stabbed by another person. But there's also a few things that I wanted to tell you guys that goes on down here. Yeah, a very vicious attack, April. Heatherlicious, that's what I think, but not really. I mean, there was hate behind this, but I do think it was definitely planned because she had it goes on to tell us down here, but she had alcohol in her system and also GHB. And I don't know that she would take that on her own. It seems like somebody may have given that to her because they call that the date rape drug, I think is what they call that, because people can't defend themselves in those situations, you know. So I feel like it was planned. So first degree murder in my mind, but definitely passion or hate behind it too. Yeah. Okay, it says the body is that of a well-developed, well-nourished female whose appearance is compatible with the reported age of 23 years. Let's see. The conjunctivae display no petechia. So I think petechia is when somebody is strangled. So it says that it doesn't look like she was strangled. Let's see here. What gets me in, so they took a sexual assault kit, so that's good that they took that, but I don't think any of that was present. So right here, you guys, there are a total of at least 68 sharp force injuries, at least 55 stab wounds, and 13 incised wounds. Without regard to possible chronological sequence, so they couldn't tell which order. Let me see here. I want to go down and show you guys where it shows. So that goes into the more about the stab wounds. They go more into depth about those, but we don't want to go through all that. I just wanted to show you guys what, that she went through a lot. Bless her heart. And I wanted to go down and show you guys where it tells about her toxicology. Right here is where it shows us. So it shows the ethanol 161 milligrams. I forgot. I looked all of this up when I first got it, you guys, and I couldn't see. Yeah, overkill. Definitely. Okay, Debbie. Yeah, you don't want to be around for this talk. Trista says, wow, sounds like a jealousy murder. Yeah, it does. It really does. But I forgot, I don't think this was a lot of alcohol, if I remember correctly. 0.16. So that's maybe 2 times the legal limit, right? Well, you'll get a ticket, I think, if it's over 0.08, right? So she was about twice over the legal limit. And this is the GHB, the GABA hydroxybutyric acid, GHB, and it's 30. And I looked that up, and I don't think that was a lot, but it wasn't a little either. And well, right here it says GHB is a Schedule 1 controlled substance and is naturally present in the nervous system and tissues, but it says has been marketed in the treatment of excessive daytime sleepiness and cataplexy in patients with narcolepsy. status among bodybuilders due to its putative effects related to growth hormone release. GHB also has gained its popularity as a drug of abuse. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you guys about that. So they tested for all this other stuff too, and I don't think there was any in here. Let's see here. I think that that's all I wanted to show you guys about that. So yeah, it was very vicious. Overkill, definitely. Yep. Yep. Besides being evil. I don't know. Now I'll tell you guys about the two that were arrested. So, like I told you guys, I'll show you guys these two winners, and everything is alleged, of course. Like I said, it's alleged right now, but her mama and her sister said that they were suspicious at these two at the very beginning. For one, because they told her family before the police even could have. Heather says, well, she was in the army, but yep, her being in the army, she could have fought back better, but with that stuff, she couldn't. Yep, they probably knew that too. They probably knew that they couldn't hurt her if she was at herself. So I'm thinking that's why she had that in her system. They slipped it to her some way. So first, I'm going to tell you guys about Sophia Rodas. She owned an ice cream shop in Houston County, Music City. Mom, I don't know if you know where that is, but she owned some kind of so I haven't found a lot about these two, you guys, because she is from El Salvador. I don't know when she came into the United States, but I know that she did own a ice cream shop in Houston County, and she's 35 years old, and I did see in one place where they said that I couldn't find any evidence of it, but they said that she had also gotten arrested for child endangerment, maybe. But and then she's 35 years old, and her mama and sister said that she was Katia's friend. Yeah. And so her and Ronaldo, who I'm going to show you next, they were married on May 22nd, 2020. But they got divorced. And I'll show you him. This is Ronaldo. He's 40 years old. And he owned a landscaping business. And so what he was doing, married to a 23-year-old, he did get in trouble for they were calling it a marriage scam. It said, let me show you guys when him and Katia were married. Let me see here. They were married on October 6, 2023. You guys remember that post that I showed you guys about Katia praying for her boyfriend? That was just a few months before that. So I don't think that that she was talking about him. An expert in one of the articles I read said that he got married for immigration purposes, and also he had the benefit of her military benefits. And they said it might have been good for Katia because she would have another dependent, so she would get more from the army. But you guys, this is just like 6 months before she was supposed to her end of service. So I have no idea. She would have only gotten like 6 months of extra benefits. So I really don't know why. Sophia, who was married to Ronaldo before this, I'm sure that she talked Katia into this for some reason. And also, you guys, I have to tell you this. After Sophia and Ronaldo, after they divorced, Sophia married somebody in the military too. She married Jeffrey Scott Thompson on December 16th of 2022. And April, that's what I thought too. It benefits him way more than it would have her. So I'm thinking that Sophia talked her into that because they were married and then they get divorced, and both of them married people from the military. Heather Bratt says spousal and housing benefits, been there, never received any of it. Yeah. So get this to you guys. Jeffrey Scott Thompson, they were married 12/16 of 2022. He was a Fort Campbell staff sergeant, and he died allegedly by suicide in October 2023. So approximately 10 months after they married and 3 days after buying him and Sophia a house. And Sophia and Reynaldo already had a house that was in both of their names, and I think that house is still in their name. And so why I know that there is a there's bad statistics on people in the armed forces harming themselves. I do know that because they don't get the resources that they need. They fight for us and they don't get the mental health services that they deserve. But he had just gotten married. He just bought a house, and 3 days later he does this. And then it's Sophia just would have the worst luck because her husband doing this, and then her best friend gets murdered too, So it's not coincidence in my mind, Not coincidence at all. Welcome back, Debbie. Yeah, so that and I do want to show you guys him because I just feel like he deserves to be known too. He's gonna be known being married to her in a bad way, but I still wanted to show you guys him. It says Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Scott Thomas, age 40, of Clarksville, Tennessee, passed away on Sunday, October 29, 2023. Jeff was born May 2nd, 1983, and was a native of New Albany, Indiana. He graduated from New Albany High School in 2001. That's the same year I graduated, you guys. Bless his heart. And was 14-year active duty service member with the United States Army. Jeff was preceded in death by his father, and then it says he is survived by his wife, Sophia Rhodes Thompson, and then his children. I don't want to say their names and things like that. So I just wanted to tell a little bit about him, just what I knew, just from quickly looking, you guys. But okay, so now I want to show you guys a video that tells a little bit more about all of the marriage stuff that I just told you guys. Let me find it here. Let me see here. And I do want to tell you guys too that those two, Ronaldo and Sophia, they were arrested for the marriage fraud. He was arrested for marriage fraud, and she was arrested for crimes against the United States. I'm not sure exactly what that means yet. So they were held on those charges. And then December this past year, the prosecutors presented their case to the December session of the Montgomery County Grand Jury, and but those two were already in federal custody on different charges, and then they did vote to indict them both, and he's just charged with tampering with evidence. You guys, what I'm hoping is that Sophia tells what she knows to get she rats him out. You know what I'm saying? And they must have only had her DNA at the scene for some reason, is what I'm thinking. But hopefully, she rats him out to get less time, and he gets in trouble for that too. Oh, on the marriage fraud, his lawyer did present a letter to the court, and he said that it was for immigration purposes, but he had grown to care for Katia and Kendrick. But obviously, he didn't care enough if he let old Sophia do what she did. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll share this video with you guys too.
Investigation involves a divorced couple who later went on to marry Army soldiers who are now both dead.
This man and woman, already in federal custody for immigration fraud, are now facing charges related to the brutal murder of Katia Duenas Aguilar back in May. Police believe Aguilar was stabbed to death nearly 70 times by Sofia Rodas of El Salvador, the Houston County ice cream shop.
Pointer Lover asked, so Sophia did this and not him too. Well, right now, the only one that's charged with Katia's murder is Sophia, and he's charged with tampering with evidence. So, but they had, I'm thinking that obviously they have him in their sights too, because why would they, I think they're getting him with all they can at this moment. And hopefully they can put murder charges on him too. And hopefully, that's why I was saying, hopefully Sophia rats him out too if she can, and they can get him with Heather Bratt says crimes against the U.S. could possibly be an immigration issue. Okay, yes, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, she does, April. She really does.
Shop owner faces first-degree murder and evidence tampering charges in this case. Reynaldo Salinas Cruz, also charged with evidence tampering, is Katia's husband. When I first learned about Katia's murder in her Clarksville apartment on Tinytown Road, someone told me she was married. The odd thing was the man was never around, and Katia didn't live with him. According to this marriage record, Katia and Salinas Cruz of Mexico got a marriage license in Montgomery County in October of 2023, but a federal indictment from this past October claims that the marriage was a sham for immigration reasons. As for Rodas, I discovered she and Salinas Cruz got married in 2020, but by 2022 she was married to someone else. It was a brief marriage. Her second husband, Jeffrey Thompson, a Fort Campbell staff sergeant, died by suicide in October of 2023.
You guys, I'm hoping, I just really don't see how there could be such a coincidence in all of this. I hope that they take another deeper look at Mr. Jeffrey Scott Thompson's death too. I just don't feel it in my bones that he did that to himself 3 days after he buys a house. When you buy a house, you're excited, and usually, well, I don't want to say usually, but if you're going to harm yourself, you plan it out in advance, and I don't think you would do all that, which I can't say for certain. But I'm just thinking, I hope they take a deeper look anyway, just to make absolutely sure.
3 days after buying them a house. That house now belongs to Rodas, although she and Salinas Cruz own a house together in Dixon County. Katia, just 23 when she was killed, was stationed at Fort Campbell for 5 years and was also the mother of a little boy. Police say this complex case remains open and active, and the suspects now await prosecution. It's likely that there is still so much to uncover about this tangled, sad situation. Anna McDonald, News Channel 5.
I'm glad that you feel me, because I just hope that they do everything they can in Mr. Jeffrey's death too. Okay, you guys, there is a video of Katia's mama again, and I wanted us to watch that. Let me see here. Right, here we go.
Breaking news alert. 8 months after a Clarksville soldier was stabbed to death, 2 people have now been charged. Good evening, I'm Courtney Allen. Katia Duenas Aguilar was found dead in her home back in May. Steve Mailing talked with her family today as the arrests come to light.
It's been 8 months since the Aguilar family's lives were turned upside down.
For us, it's not really easy. It is really hard.
Back in May, Clarksville police found Katia Duenas Aguilar dead inside her home. Police say she was stabbed over 50 times.
I am not sure why they killed my daughter like that.
Carmen Aguilar has been asking herself that question since she found out what happened to her daughter, all while caring for her daughter's 4-year-old son.
He missed his mom. He started missing her because the last time when I talked to him, he said, I want Katia to come back. They took away the best part of his.
Oh, he said he wanted his mama to come back, you guys. Bless him. Whoever did this, and allegedly it's Sophia and Ronaldo, she has kids too, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if they're both of their kids or not. But whoever did this wasn't thinking of Kendrick, obviously. That's what makes me so mad, you guys.
His life. Why? I'm in pain because my little boy. I'm in pain because of my daughter. And these persons never think about that.
Clarksville police have now charged 2 people, 40-year-old Reynaldo Cruz and 35-year-old Sofia Rodas, with Katia's murder. Both are charged with tampering with evidence. Rodas is facing a first-degree murder charge. While Katia's death left their family with a massive hole, they want people to remember Katia for the hero she was, the mother she became for her son, and the light she brought to everyone's lives.
She's like the sun, so every day I just, look up at her and I just feel like she's still there. I just try not to feel alone because she wouldn't let me be alone.
Oh, I'm so glad that she has found a good way. I remember that just hit me, you guys. She said that this is her sister Cecilia, and she was talking about sunflowers before, about her funeral, I believe. And because of the sun, that's how she remembered her sister. Bless her heart.
Whenever she was studying.
The family says what they need now is support for justice in her case. They say they can't see it through on their own.
I just want justice. Justice.
For WSMV4, I'm Steve Mailing.
Heather Bratt says, I'm glad her family is finally getting justice for Katia. They waited too long for answers and dealing with heartbreak. Yeah, me too. Me too, guys. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to show you guys before I take us out with a little something happier. I'm happy there's justice because, like I said, you guys, I did a short for her case, and then I also did a live stream, and then I posted about her like 3 or 4 times on my community tab. So I was trying really, really hard to do what I could, to raise awareness too for her, because like I said, you guys, you never know. You never ever know. Our platform is small, but we just need one person, the right person to see it, Yeah, I'm going to take y'all out. Oh, okay, let me see here. Yeah, I think that was all, guys. Now I'll share with you guys the so this let me find it here. Um this is 13-year-old Gita and her human 84-year-old Keith Johnson. And they live in Washington, and I think it was back in October. His blood sugar had dropped, and he was going to get him some juice, but he saved Gita as a rescue when she was really little, so he's had her all this time. And Neat Noodle says, been cooking, so haven't been able to chat, but I've been listening, sending so much love to her family who must be grieving terribly. Yes, Neat, yes. Please, guys, send all of your prayers and good wishes and good thoughts to her 4-year-old son Kendrick, her mama Carmen, and her sister Cecilia, because they're going to need a lot of strength for these upcoming months to deal with this. And I will keep you guys updated about the court cases and everything that I can. And Music City Mom can probably help us too, since she's a local, well, kind of local to that area. Um, yeah, so this is Keith's blood sugar had dropped, and he was going to take her out right fast, but and it's Washington, and it looks like a remote part, and which I guess a lot of Washington is remote. But anyways, he felt faint and he passed out. You guys, Gita waited by his side for 6 hours, and finally, he told her to go and get him help. And she did. She ran out to the middle of the road. A sheriff's deputy tried to get her in his vehicle, and she wouldn't come. She would not come. She would not leave her owner like that. He broke his hip when he fell, you guys. And so he said that he decided to follow her, and he led her back. She led him back to Keith. And it was let me show you guys the post that the sheriff's office made. And it says, Hero Dog Saves Owner. So, yep, it was October 1st, 2024. And it says, on 9/25/24, Deputy Wright was patrolling a rural wooded area of Stevens County when he came upon a dog sitting in the roadway. No residences were visible nearby. Wright tried to get the dog in his vehicle so he could attempt to find the owner, but the dog would not get in his vehicle. Wright proceeded to check the surrounding area residences within a mile and could not find the owner. Sensing something was amiss, Wright went back to the dog, which was now laying on the center line. Oh, there she is, guys. He tried to get the dog off the roadway, and it took off up a slightly traveled, unmarked roadway. Wright followed the dog, and it led him to a small summer cabin. He began checking around the area and observed an elderly male laying on the ground, calling for help a short distance from the cabin. The 84-year-old male, who also had the medical conditions needing regular medications, had fallen and injured his leg. Yeah, guys, he'd broken his hip. He had laid there for hours and may have had serious consequences if he had not been found. It turns out the dog Gita is a 13-year-old rescue dog and best friend of the gentleman in trouble. We credit Gita for saving his life that day. The loyalty and heroism of our furry friends never cease to amaze us. Thank you, Deputy Wright, for going the extra effort, and thank you, Gita, for being a good girl and true hero. And that's from his body camera. I've got a video, you guys, and it shows a little bit of his body camera that I wanted to show you guys. Look at her, you guys. She looks worried out of her eyes, don't she? You did good, baby. You did very good. Okay, guys, now I'll show you the video that I found. I'll have to tell you guys about my dog. I had him for 12 and a half years, and he was absolutely my BFF in the whole world. And since he passed away in 8/18/19, I still remember the day. I haven't had the heart to get another new BFF, but I figure my new BFF will find me. You reckon? That's what I'm hoping.
An exclusive story of a dog who saved her owner's life after he fell and broke his hip.
Krem 2's Christian Garza sat down with Gita and her owner, Keith, to talk about the day that proved dogs really are man's best friend.
It was here at this cabin in the middle of Stevens County where Gita rescued her owner, Keith Johnson, ultimately saving his life after he rescued her 13 years ago as a puppy.
She knew I needed help, and she knew what she needed to do to get it.
It was a day that started just like any other, but it would soon become a day Keith Johnson would never forget.
It occurred to me that I might die out there.
On Wednesday, September 25th, Keith woke up to the sound of his continuous glucose machine telling him his blood sugar was low. But while on the way to the fridge to get some juice, he noticed his dog Gita needed to go outside.
And I thought Gita and I would both just pee and come back inside.
But Gita had other plans.
Instead, she wanted to go off down toward the woods.
Keith got about 20 or 30 feet from his cabin when he decided to turn around and head back.
My goodness, did you guys see that incline? That would be hard for any able person, much less an elderly fella. But he seemed like he was in good shape, and that's great because not anybody could have laid out there for 6 hours. Oh man, I'm so thankful that they got to him. Bless them, bless them. You had black labs too, Tony. Heather Brat, yours is a lover, not a fighter, huh?
It's when he suddenly felt dizzy and fell right here, breaking his hip.
I was there 6.5 hours.
Waiting for someone to help him.
I would call for help, and Gita would come over. And finally, she decided she needed to act on that.
Jumping into action, just like Lassie.
Oh, he said she would come over when he yelled for help. She's like, I'm here, Dad. I'm here. I'll help. Do everything I can. Oh.
Would do.
I found her laying across the center lines. She just stood up and looked at me, and she looked back towards the driveway and then looked at me, and then she took off up the driveway.
Getting the attention of Deputy Colton Wright, bringing him back to help her dad.
I was immensely relieved that I'd been saved, and then I discovered that it was Gita.
When I was standing at the truck and I looked this way, I could see Keith laying here with his hand in the air, calling out for help. I ran down to Keith. I asked him, are you okay? Like, what hurts? He told me that his leg hurt. So I ran back up to my truck, got on the radio and asked for medical to respond, and hung out with him here until EMS arrived.
He said, your dog's a hero. She saved your life today. And that was my first thought, too.
Keith says he's grateful the world gets to see just how special Gita is. The sheriff's office Facebook post about Gita's heroism went viral overnight.
People are giving credit where credit is due to Gita.
While the road to recovery is still a long ways away, Keith is making good progress here at Providence St. Joseph Medical Center, with frequent visits from his best friend. Aww. Christian Garza.
Here's your daddy. Oh, look at that happy tail.
Krem 2 News.
What a good girl. Story of the week right there, right?
I'm so glad that they brought her to see him. That would make such a big difference to me if they brought mine. Bless them. They are two amazing souls saving each other every day together. Absolutely, Heather Brat. Absolutely. So I thought that was a good one to end us out with, you guys. I know that I don't like to leave you all with these rough stories that we go over. And I also, you guys, this if anybody's watching it on replay and you guys don't know, I do a prayer request post every week on my community tab, and I've been doing it for over a year now. I think October made a year. And if you want to write something, you can just write unspoken, or if you just go through there and see someone else's prayers, please pray for them and send good thoughts to them. And something happened recently, and there are these sectors on YouTube, and it's the light side and the dark side and stuff like that. And when we're praying for somebody, there is no sides. I came from a different community, and anybody can write prayers there. If you need prayers, we will be there for you, no matter who you are. If we've had issues or whatever, I don't have issues with many of you guys, but if I had, it doesn't matter to me at all. We can come together and pray for one another. So I just wanted to say that. In this past week, it was I talked about I know most of you guys know, but if not, 22 years ago, I was on my way to work and I hit a patch of black ice and it broke my back and left me paraplegic. But this past week, I left the prayer request post on the day of my wreck anniversary. And so I share a little bit about that. And I wanted to thank each and every one of you that stopped in and left a comment, or even if you just left a like. I wanted to thank you guys for that, because it really means a lot to me, because it like I said, the first few years were kind of bad, because I remembered what was, but now it's just thankfulness and gratefulness that I'm alive, and my I don't have a brain injury, and I'm myself still. I'm myself no matter what. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for that, and mention that every week I post a new one, and you're more than welcome to leave a comment there. And thank you guys all for coming and listening to me today. And thank you, my mods and my friends, for helping me. It really means a lot that you guys come and help me and give your free time, and for free, yeah. Oh, I pay you back with my sense of humor, right? Oh, thanks, guys. And Van, we got to remember Van. Nature Rocks is is Vanessa, and I love you too, Trista Scott. Thank you so very much. Thank all of you. Thank you, Pointer Lover. I appreciate that so very much. Thanks, guys. Oh, and last week, that's Vanessa's channel, you guys. Please check it out. She posts some of the most beautiful nature photos, and she's always teaching us stuff that I don't know. And you guys, her photography is wonderful. She can make the scary things look cute, like these little spiders. She took pictures of them, and they look like furry little dogs or something. It's adorable. You guys have to check it out. And I love you guys too. And she also saved my life like a week ago, you guys. A storm came out of nowhere, and my watch was vibrating and ringing off my wrist. Me and my mama, our phones were going off. I can't say her name because she'll talk to us and yours will talk too, but they were going off, and we didn't even know that a storm was coming. So we had to hurry and get in the bathtub, and Vanessa kept an eye on the radar and kept telling us when we thought it was clear. And she's like, no, there's something coming. You need to stay in your safe place a little bit longer. So she kept an eye on that for us and kept us updated, because I couldn't see the radar and stuff at that time. Me and my mama were in the bathtub, you guys. I wish you could have seen us. Oh my goodness, I wish we had a camera and you guys could have seen me and my mama. You should have seen us trying to get out. Oh my gosh, it was funny. It was a sight, you guys. Yeah, so Vanessa, I will never be able to thank her for doing that for us. I really, really appreciated that. So she's a good one, you guys. All my friends are good, and all my subscribers that come and hang out with me, you all are good and appreciated too. Yep, she did really good reading the radar for us. She sure did. She sure did. Yeah, and Debbie's dropping my email, you guys. If you have any other issues or stories that you think need awareness, please email me and we'll do our very best to do what we can to help. Okay, I love y'all, and I'll see you all next time. And don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins. Spring has almost sprung, and we can start getting sun instead of taking the vitamin D. But it's important. But consult your doctors first and foremost, because I don't want to get sued. Okay? Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.